Hello, welcome back. I'm Andreas Chat, your tech-curious web designer. This is part 4 of a video series how to build a web app using TailwindCSS and Alpine.js. In the previous video, we coded the post component with the various elements. In this video, we will add the sidebar with the different sections and finish off the static portion of the site. Okay, let's do it. This is our current state of the site. The sidebar is missing, and let's look now into this category section here. Let's go to our code. We look at the sidebar element here. Here I prepared a few lines of code, just the basic structure we will work with. So it's a section element with a class of cards. We used this class before. It just gives a nice round corner and drop shadow. And it also has a padding all around. We have a h2 with the title. And we have a list with a bunch of list items. So let's first style the category, the h2. We add here a new class, a h2 class, and we declare a font size and a font weight. Let's go to our page, and there we have it. Now we can also get rid of the background color. We don't need this anymore, so background red can go now. Next, let's look at the list items themselves. They will have a hover state. The background will change when you hover over them. So let's add this one. So here, because they all have the same styling, I will create a class here and name it hover list and add the attributes in our style sheet. So that will be hover list, and I will target all the children. So this would be all the LIs, and I will apply, because this is a Tailwind CSS, I apply a few classes now. On hover, I add a background gray with 100 shading, also rounded MD, so medium. Also I will add a transition. This is a very slight fade-in animation, and also declare the duration of 150. If you want to have it a longer transition, you can just increase the number here. So let's have a look. Yes, and we have a hover state here now. Great. Now let's add a bit of padding. Hover list. This would be selecting the children, but we would like to select the A element. So 2 levels down. And we apply a P2 class to it and also block element. So now the list elements have nice paddings. Next up, we will add the icons to the list elements. So let's go to the first one here, landscape. So add here an image with width 8 and height 8, which corresponds to 32 pixels. Object cover, which covers the whole area, and margin right 2, which corresponds to 8 pixels. And this is the link to the image. Again, I'm using the icons 8 library. The name I put into a span element, and I add a font bold and text small class to it. Let's check it out. There we go. Now let's position them next to each other. So we go up to our class here and just apply the flex class and items center to it. And there you go. Now they are positioned next to each other. Next, let's duplicate this to all our other list elements. So I just get rid of those for now and duplicate this 4 times. There you go. I changed the images. So this is the image for people. Then I have an image for animals. Then I have an image for the category abstract. And finally, I have an image for black and white. Okay. Nice. Now all the categories have an icon and the name. What is missing now is a highlight. So the first here has a highlight background. So let's add this. On the first li, we add a class highlight. And we add this to our style sheet as well. Dot highlight and apply a background of indigo color with 100 shading. Okay, there we go. One thing to change still is if I mouse over, the color changes to gray again. So I would like to force it to always keep it as a blue. So this we can achieve with the exclamation mark, which is, as you see here, is important. So it overrides the other styles. So this now should always stay blue, whatever the situation, if it's hover or not. There we go. So the first section is finished now. Let's look into the next section. This is the top photo section. Let's insert the HTML after this section here. Again, it's very similar to the one we just created with a card class and padding 4. We have a H2 again, top photos, and a hover list here. Now let's look into the elements, the list elements. So in the list, we first have the photo itself. So I give it a width of 10, height of 10, rounded, again, around the corners, object cover, and a right margin of 3. The next element is the avatar. It's a bit smaller with width 6 and height 6, rounded again, and right margin of 0.5. Next, we have the name. In a span element, apply font bold and text small to it, and a right margin of 1. And the last one would be a span with small text and font light, and also a shade of gray. Let's have a look. Our styled list item here. Let's just duplicate it. So we have 2. And there we go. This section is now done as well. And the last section is very simple as well. We can just copy and paste this section here. This will be top captions. Let's get rid of this element here. We delete this one. We have the avatar icon. Instead of 6, we increase it slightly to 8. Change the margin right to 1, a bit bigger margin. We have the name, that's correct, and the likes. Let's have a look. Yes, this is correct, and let's just add another list item for good measure. And there we go. So the static build is hereby finished. Next up, we will add some interactivity to the page, like drop-down menus and sliders. So see you at the next one.